Ben, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Ben.
Hopefully, great name by the way. So, give the people a bit of an intro, because I think you are a very successful person. Don't answer me yet if you think you are yourself, but give a bit of an introduction of how old you are, what industry you're in, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, so I'm 36 years old, and we've had a day centre now in Slaithwaite for 12 years.
Okay, so explain what is a day centre for people.
So we're basically a care company, and we only cater to adults with learning difficulties.
Do we class that 18 as over?
16 and above.
Yeah. Okay, 16 and above.
16 to 65 is the specific.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. So that is anybody with a disability, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Now, how did you get into this industry? I'm assuming you are an entrepreneur, because I do watch you on Instagram and you're very busy like I am, quite an extreme character. That's why I wanted to get you on. And we have had a few discussions in the past about, happiness and all the rest of it, so we'll get onto that. But did you have other businesses before you started this, or was this the first?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I didn't go to myself, I want to be an astronaut,
Okay.
or I want to be a horse trainer, or
Yeah.
I didn't have a specific goal in terms of the tasks I would be completing on a daily basis. What I had was, I want to work for myself.
Okay, so I literally want to own my own businesses. I don't want a boss.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
okay,
that
I
was
like
my
it.
goal. And then I thought to myself at the time, and I was pretty young, how am I going to get that? And what it was a change of my frame of mind was, if an opportunity arises, I have to be in a position to take advantage of that opportunity.
So I need some liquid capital. I need
Yeah.
some money to jump, right?
Yeah, and not even just the liquid capital, it's having the balls. as
Okay,
well.
yes.
So a lot of people have like an opportunity arise and they go, no, I can't do it.
I want to be employed, I want to be safe.
Yeah, I've got my house, what if I lose my...
Yeah,
So
okay.
I, at a young age, was like, fuck it, I'm all in.
Okay, I like it. Extreme.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I then started working for myself here and there, doing like gardening when I was young.
Okay, so manual labour, I
Yeah.
see a lot of that. Okay.
And then I had a little car valeting business.
Oh, wow.
And all those things taught me, like on an intuitive level, that this sort of business doesn't scale very well.
Okay, yeah.
So
'cause-
I realised I'm just swapping my time for money.
Absolutely.
And at a certain point, I can only do so many fucking gardens. I can only clean so many bloody cars.
Yeah.
And what do? Do I take some staff on? No, because then I'll send them for a job and then they'll just nick my...
Yeah, nick your customer or do an inferior job.
Yeah. So I realised pretty quick that jobs like that aren't going to get me where I want to be.
Okay.
So then...
How old were you at this stage, by the way? How old, were you like 18 at the kind of realising this?
16 to like 22.
Okay, all right, okay. So you might have done, I don't know, 40 grand a year maybe doing all these odds and ends, or we're talking 20?
If that.
Oh, right, okay, right, I get you. So
Like-
you were like, I need to earn 100k plus, what on earth am I doing? Because I only have one set of hands.
Yeah.
Get you.
So, and obviously at the time, I didn't have like a load of money to get started. I just basically had to get started. And as I'm going, I'm thinking all the time. I'm thinking, how can I make this better? How can I get better? How can I have a bigger house? How can I have this? How can I have that? Thinking about the kind of man I want to be and all these sorts of things. How can I leverage my abilities? And so that gets added to being ready to take advantage of any opportunity that arises. So I ended up getting a job in Kirklees College, and this is after all these little tasks here and there, and I work with people with challenging behaviour.
Is that naughty people?
Yeah.
Okay, little shits like me. I got
Yeah,
kicked out of like 4 schools.
So yeah, you get expelled. You can't sit in a classroom for like 20 minutes without getting bollocked.
Right.
You get sent to the place where I was working.
Really? And how many people are we talking in a class typically?
There would be like 15, 20,
Oh
something like
wow, 15 to 20 naughty kids.
Yeah.
I bet that was interesting.
that. It was. But so I did that for 1 year.
Okay,
And
good money?
Not really, no.
Okay, 25, 30k-ish maybe?
Yeah, it wasn't much, but I had the college holidays were quite good, so you only worked like 36 weeks in the year, and I would get another job in the holidays, and that's how I bought my first house, because I was earning 2.
Yeah, so you're not afraid of work, that's for sure. 'Cause
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people go, oh, holiday's brilliant. You thought, time to work.
Yeah, so
Love it.
I bought my own house and had a mortgage when I was like 23.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm getting on there. And so the first year I did that, the attendance of the kids there, they'd all drop off over the year, normally, but the first year I did it, they lost one student the whole year. So all the teachers were like, oh.
So you did an amazing job, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you exactly what I did to make them not leave, but
maybe you're young and cool.
Probably that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, pretty
young, cool and sexy.
That's
That's definitely what did it. So anyway, it gave me the bug for
helping people.
Yeah, and I like specifically working with people with challenging behaviour because it gives you there's a bit of adrenaline there as well, you know.
Yeah, what's going to happen next?
This guy's going to kick off. So they get in fights every now and then. You sort of have to
judo chop one of them.
Yeah. Come on, lads. So anyway, I got the bug for it, and then basically the government changed the way funding was given for people that needed care who had an LD, like learning difficulty.
Yeah.
So it used to be that the council would just say, you need to go there because you need caring for, you need to go there because you need caring for, and these day centres were pretty pants.
Really? So was there a couple locally that you thought, bloody hell, these are awful?
Yes.
Right.
We saw them, and a lot of the guys that would move on from the college would go to them. Mm-hmm. But what we found out was that the government were going to do direct payments instead of the way it was working. So everyone gets their own budget and they can spend it wherever they like.
Oh, really? So let's say Frank is a naughty boy. He gets, what we're talking from the government, a year-ish?
Well, it depends on how bad he was.
Okay.
But some people are so bad that they might be on it might cost like £22 an hour to look after him.
Which would be ish over a month maybe, or a year?
Maybe like £7,000, something like that.
A year?
No, a month.
Oh wow! So incredible.
When I say that, so we've got some people that come here.
Yeah.
Who they have 2 staff with them at all times.
Yeah. And the government will pay for X amount of it, not necessarily all of it, but
yeah.
Fascinating, right? Okay.
So we cater to people like that. So, but then we also cater to people where there's only like 1 member of staff between 4.
Okay,
they don't have extremely challenging behaviour.
No.
They just need a lot of help with day-to-day tasks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely right.
So we cater from all different ranges of
people. So you saw a bit of an opening. You thought, right, we can actually set a decent one up because they're all naff and there's good money.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because what it was is the direct payments made it competitive. Because if you can spend your money wherever you want,
yeah, of course,
then you go to the shit day centre.
Yeah, of course.
You take them out and you go, oh, that one looks good. I'll go there. So anyway, we spotted the opening like early. You're talking like direct payments started and we'd opened up in a year or something like that. It was quick. And
did you have to save some money? Did you borrow some money?
We borrowed 70 grand.
Okay, from family, friends, or
from Lloyd's Bank. We had to sign our souls away.
Okay,
they had my house, they had my mum's house. It was like everyone's house was on the line.
70 grand, right?
70 grand, that was all.
Yeah.
And we managed to do up our first building for 70 grand. I had to do most of the work myself, painting the walls.
Was this rented or was this bought?
A leased building.
Leased building.
And then we did the internals up and made it custom. So it was a big open plan mill and we made it custom to what we needed. We had to do a lot of the work ourselves. Block work we couldn't do, things like that. But most of the work was like us.
This is where you're very hands-on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of getting someone else to do it, I can't wait a week, I'll jump in there.
It is interesting because what I've noticed over the years, obviously been doing 12 years now, is the skills that are involved in starting a business are very different from the skills that are involved in maintaining and running a business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my skill set is better at the starting of a new business because it's, you've got to grind it out. You don't have a lot. There's emergencies every bloody second of the day. Those emergencies are where, like, I thrive.
So you love the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So what happens as the business matures, a bit like a child. In the early days, it's like a fucking nightmare. Everything's going tits
up. But you quite like that.
Yeah. There's fires here, fires there. You're like dancing around, putting out fires, doing whatever needs to be done. But over time, you employ more staff, you get more systems in place,
delegate,
things calm down, and it becomes manageable. And another word for manageable to me is boring.
Boring, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So
and you can't do what I do and just start buying more kit, can you?
No,
necessarily, unless you just start expanding. But it's a slow process, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's what we did. We expanded, and then we expanded so fast that we had to get another building, and then we expanded so fast again that we basically were at capacity, and the only thing we could do was think, what other services could we provide to the same people? So then we started offering holidays that go all over the world to people with an LD.
Amazing.
So that was our next venture.
Yeah.
We started doing domiciliary care, which is where you go into people's homes.
Okay, so you'd send one of your staff to someone's house for X amount of hours. Interested?
Yeah.
Good pay? More? Is it more than?
A bit more, because it's a lot harder to organise and things like that.
Petrol costs and all the rest of it. Yeah, there's a lot more to factor in, isn't there?
So again, the people that came to us would then have like a care on the evening or on the weekend or something like that.
Okay.
And then we moved into providing care 24 hours a day to people that lived in their own homes.
Interesting.
So guys with challenging behaviour would live in their own house. We would go and look after them. So again, it's not always a load of money per hour, but because it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, the contracts add up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we moved into challenging behaviour, which the extreme challenging behaviour, which is like 2-to-1 staff and things like that. So again,
and is this a kid that's just going to start battering people? Or
if you get it wrong, yeah. So like with autism and things like that, it's you have your structure, and if you go outside of those boundaries, you're going to have an issue. So you need well-trained staff and stuff.
But have you ever had any stories? Have you had like any really bad incidents?
Oh,
what's the worst? What's the one that you have to tell?
So a gentleman who lives with us full time now.
Yeah.
When he first came, he was in hospital.
Okay.
Not Huddersfield Hospital.
Okay. Yes.
A hospital.
A different hospital. Yeah. Of course. An extreme hospital.
An extreme hospital. Yeah.
Okay.
So when he came out, he was still quite extreme.
Yeah.
And he'd had quite a hard life. And anyway, he used to have a hair trigger sort of temper.
Okay.
And anything like the word no would boom, gone.
Right, he's a stick of dynamite waiting to go.
Yeah,
right.
so
how old is this guy?
So he's like 21.
Oh wow,
He was 18 stone.
Oh, a big unit, right.
So
okay,
he was
right.
a big lad to lose his shit.
Oh yes.
So we basically we set to working, and like we had his behavioural plans and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, he decided during COVID that he wanted a Burger King. Burger King's shut.
Yeah,
There's nothing I can do about that, mate. It's shut.
Jesus. Yeah, you could make him a burger, but other than that, no Burger King.
He didn't want that. He wanted Burger King.
You need to buy a Burger King bag.
Had to be Burger King.
Oh wow.
So anyway, I took him to Burger King.
Showed him it was closed.
It was closed. And he said, "It's not closed. It's open." And I was like, "Mate, it's closed."
Oh, right. Okay.
So anyway, it carried on.
Yeah.
It carried on, and then it ended with him. You know, he was trying to attack me, and he wanted to bite me and everything. So
oh, wow.
He would have like.
So what do you have to do in that situation? Do you just have to like put him in some sort of restraint?
So we're all trained. Everyone that works in the challenging behaviour is trained in Team Teach, which is like training that allows you to deal with people when they're attacking you.
Right. Okay.
So it's like
is it useful for the missus, just in case you haven't bought her a good handbag?
Yeah. No, I always make sure I get a good handbag. I've never had to use it on her yet. Just use it on me.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so things like that, and the training all is like all really in depth now, and so the complexity of what we do has gone up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also the contracts have gone up.
Yeah.
But we, instead of us sticking with one type of business and then having a day centre here, day centre Halifax, day centre there, what we did was we offered lots of different services in one area.
Okay.
So it meant that I didn't have to move around everywhere, monitoring everything.
Yeah.
I can monitor everything we do from here.
Okay.
And we provide multiple kinds of care from the same building.
Interesting. Smart. So that's smart. So that's kind of almost going against your instinct of just get it done and open. You actually had to go, right, I need to start working smart here. Yeah. Because I think we are wired quite similar, me and you. So let's just say I definitely think you're a successful dude. Me and you have talked about potentially doing a gym before. I've looked at property, and you'd said to me that you'd done your first million by how much? You said you were worth, let's say, sorry, not as in paid yourself.
Yeah.
Did you say by, what was your goal? I remember
my
talking
goal
about
was 40.
By 40 you needed $1 million.
Yeah, so by 40 I wanted my business to be worth $1 million.
You got it, and you managed it, didn't you?
We did it by 30, I think it was 34.
So you were 6 years early. Now, did you just go, wow, I'm successful?
No.
No, okay, all right. Now,
I was actually quite down about it.
Okay, yeah, because you'd reached it and you were like, where's my medal?
Yeah, I was like, you know, imagine you get to the top of Everest and you're like,
nothing's here. Yeah,
it's just a bit fucking cold. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's crazy, isn't it? Though?
So it basically, I was in limbo for a bit because I was like,
what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, I need another
Did
goal.
you have to? Had you kind of planned, right? I want to be worth 10 million by 50, or did you just go, I need 1 million by 40? That was my only goal. Did you have long-term goals or not? Was that the only one?
No, so I had no idea. So all I've been doing is like grinding, looking at the numbers, grinding. And I didn't ever really believe on some level that I would reach that goal.
Oh, really?
I set that goal.
Yeah, so that was the light at the end of the tunnel, and you didn't even think you'd hit it.
So I set that goal like 12 years ago, and then 10 years later,
you did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was thinking that I was being a bit over the top, you know. I was like, I'm going to set this goal high, because why the fuck not?
Absolutely.
But anyway,
you didn't set it high enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've realised. And so I've set some goals since, but then I've not made the same mistake where I make sure that goal is then triggering another goal.
Get you. So yeah, you've got like micro goals, and then you've got your long-term goal. So what is the long-term goal? Let's say you're going to retire at 50. I know you won't, because you work hard like me, but what is the long-term goal? What is that, right, I think I'm done at that? Have you got one-ish?
Yes. So my goals are a little bit odd, because I'm not really bothered about being rich or anything.
Yeah, because you've realised it doesn't actually make you that happy.
No.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
But what I do like is I like owning large buildings and things like that.
Okay, so you want it in worth assets.
Yeah.
Get you.
And I like being able to, I like walking around the things.
This is mine.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I've bought my first building.
Yeah.
In Slaithwaite. It used to be a gym. It used to be a Wharfside workout.
Yeah, cool.
I bought that building. But my ultimate goal is to own all of the mills in Upper Mills where Waves is based.
Okay, so all the sites that you operate, you want to buy.
Yeah.
Get you.
And there's lots of other businesses that are in these mills.
Yeah.
I want to own the entire block.
Oh, amazing.
That's my goal.
So that would be, let's say if we were going to buy it today, it'd be worth what we're thinking,
like 5 million.
5 million. So once you've hit 5 million net worth, you're good.
Yeah.
So let's say if you died tomorrow, I know it's a horrendous subject, that, right? What are you leaving your missus? How much do you think you'd worth if you sold everything now? I'm talking cars, watches, everything. What do you reckon ish you might be worth? It's an interesting one. I was trying to calculate mine the other day. Rough. Because people like to know this. It's quite interesting. They'd be like, because you're a millionaire, do you reckon it's 2-3 mil? Do you know what I mean? I know it doesn't sound like
on paper.
Yes.
I am.
Yeah.
So if I turned the sums into, I'd probably, I think, just me on my own, probably 1.5 million. Okay,
so we've got a bit to go. We've got 3.5, and you've done it.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you've got plenty of time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have. And as we've already discussed, even when you hit it, I don't actually think you'd be that happy, because I think happiness comes from somewhere else, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've talked, because I think we started talking cars, me and you kind of like said something to me, and I was like, is this another successful person having a go at me? Or not having a go, but like giving me a dig? And I'm like, I bet you feel exactly like me, because I think he's a clone of me. And I said, you're rich, are you happy? And he went, no, I'm miserable. And I'm like, it's crazy, because people look at us. I straight away look at you and I think, oh God, he must feel so rewarded about what he does. He's got such a lovely missus. He actually has time to do a bit of gymming, but he does do like a 4 a.m. till 12 p.m. work day, which people don't obviously see. I know you do. I'm thinking, this guy's made it. But then when we start talking, I'm like, this guy feels just like me. I wonder why. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like I've created some demons. Why don't you feel fulfilled, do you think? Why don't you feel? Do you feel like it's because you need to be hitting more goals? Do you need to be helping more people? Do you need to be paying yourself more? What is it you think that's the block that doesn't let you be happy? Is it the thirst for more?
Yeah, I mean, I have thought about this a fair bit, and to be honest, what I think it is I've got, like, whatever you want to call it, there's an emptiness that I've got, which I'm trying to fill with things that don't fill that hole.
Yeah.
So I keep
We'd love to know.
But I'm still going. I'm like, oh well, maybe if I get a bit more, it'll fill that hole. But I think probably that hole's filled by bloody meditating in a cave for a year.
Really?
Not like grinding out, making.
Yeah. Now, obviously, at what stage did you was it the £1 million sort of thing that you realised, oh, actually, money isn't really making me happy here? At what stage did you go, oh God, I'm actually not that happy, even though, I'm doing quite well for myself? Was it years ago? Was it like just recently?
No, it's always been
a few years ago.
Yeah, it's been like the reason I got into the frame of mind that I had with like I'll chuck caution to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet my house. I'll bet everything I've got.
Mm-hmm.
Caution, no fear,
Mm-hmm.
was because I pretty much came to terms with the fact that I don't mind if I die.
Really?
So there was no consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it all goes tits up, what does it matter? Like I've always got death.
Okay, so you are very extreme then, really. Now, where do you think this extreme work drives come from? So, I definitely think it's my mum and dad who have kind of done this to me. Were your parents workaholics? Were you brought up to be a grafter? Where's it come from?
All I can say is that I went to boarding school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was around a lot of successful people there, and we played a lot of sport, and all these things, like I liked the hard work.
Okay.
I just enjoyed the feeling of working hard, which is, I like the journey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the destination.
Okay.
So I liked working towards this million.
Uh-huh.
When I reached it, I was like,
Yeah, so
I
you're
don't
just
enjoy
like
this
almost like an adrenaline junkie, aren't you? Really?
it's probably a good word for it.
Yeah, it's fascinating that, because it's quite stressful, I find, because there's people on the line. So let's say I set up this most recent gym. I think, right, well, I've got 8 members of staff, I've got all these trainers, I've got almost 1,000 members now. It's a lot of people, so I feel a bit anxious because I'm a pleaser by nature. So setting something up, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they like it. It's like stressful, and I get it. I do thrive a little bit when you get the successful times, but I'm a bit like, I kind of enjoy it, but then to some extent I'm like, bloody hell, let's not do that again. But you want it.
Yeah.
Love it. You are like one in a million, I think. That's brilliant.
I just like certain types of stress. Like
Yes.
obviously, if things are going really bad,
Mm-hmm.
then
It's awful.
I enjoy it after I've solved the problem.
Yeah.
But at the time, that does make my heartbeat weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like good stress and the right kind of hard. That's what I'm after.
Now, we talk about not being happy and all the rest of it, and you've, for quite some time you've realised, shit, all I do is work. Do you have any hobbies? Are you working on kind of you to make yourself happy? Like I've got this, I'm trying my best to give back to people because I feel like it's really rewarding, and so far I've really, really enjoyed speaking to people, knowing that I'm not alone, and we obviously talked about this in the gym.
Yeah.
Are you working on yourself, or do you feel like you just don't have time to do that? I know you gym, obviously, and look after yourself, because that's why you look like a god.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I am trying more recently. So I basically at one point thought that going and talking with friends was wasting time that I could be earning
Working.
money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I cut things out like quite brutally that would distract me from work.
Just the same. So basically, you have no friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any friends, by the way?
I do have a couple now, but
Who would you trust with your missus or like your life? Do you know?
my brother Neil
Okay,
is
one.
a guy that I trust.
Okay.
with
Family.
anything.
Amazing. Okay.
He's step brother, but I just count him as my brother.
Do you reckon you've got a couple of friends and that's about your lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lonely, isn't it? I say lonely. Do you feel like friends are kind of after something from you? Do you know what I mean? Let's say you're the most successful out of all your friends. Do you always feel like you're kind of having them look at you going, oh, it's all right for Ben? Do you get that a little bit?
A little bit, but the thing for me has always been that if they're not getting after it, then I don't really want to spend much time with them.
I'm like that, yeah, absolutely, yeah, because you feel like it's bad energy rubbed off onto you. You're like, oh, I might get lazy if I spend time with him.
It's just because I've got very narrow interests. So if they're not talking to me about how they're going to be a millionaire,
Yes.
or something that they're very extreme about, I find it really hard to be
Boring.
interested in what they're saying.
We'd be a nightmare being friends, me and you, honestly, because I think my missus would leave me, I'd be even worse. I'd be like, how are we going to dominate the world tomorrow?
Yeah. That's the thing I'm working on now, though.
Yeah,
so
chilling.
I'm trying to ask people questions that aren't related just to money or so.
Do you have any hobbies? So
just the gym, and I like train my dog.
Okay, oh, amazing. So dogs is your thing. So you are
Yeah.
like a girl's dream. That's why you've got such a beautiful missus, I think. You dog man, I like it. Well, that's just great. I mean, I'm trying to get into cars to have a hobby because my missus is forcing me. Bless her. She's like, you need something for you. Because I used to love them as a kid. I actually wanted to do my own like car customization shop. That's how much I loved cars. So recently, I mean today actually, I bought.
Yeah, but just pause there. So you had something you loved.
Yeah. I just
You
didn't see the money
instantly
in it.
wanted to make it into money.
I know, this is the thing. So a lot of people are going, oh yeah, but you could buy loads of cars, you could rent them. I'm like, no, for once I'm going to stop turning everything into a business. Because that's the first thing I thought. Oh, I'll buy a Mustang.
Yeah.
How much do they rent for? Oh yeah, I could no, stop it. Stop. Rein yourself in. Pleasure is what you need, because what's it all about? I think so many people look at people like you and they go, God, he's got all this. I bet he loves his life. And this is what this whole, podcast is about. Somewhere along the way, we kind of got lost, me and you, and we just went, well, we've kind of worked a lot, but are we happy? I wonder what's going to make us happy. And then it's like this dance to try find, I don't know, inner happiness, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So you've actually started doing a few more mundane tasks and talking about dog training or talking about gym, which is good. So you need to go to a few more gym conventions, don't you, and actually give yourself a bit more of a hobby, really, just like me and my cars. Find the love for it again. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like when I go to the gym, sometimes I walk in there and I won't look at anyone. I'm in there and I'm working as hard as I can in the gym. Then I go to work as hard as I can at work. I go home, train the dog, work as hard. Like, do you see what I mean? It's like, it's very...
Yeah. So what you're trying to do is maybe talk to a few of your people at the gym.
Yes.
About some. Yes, I get you. So you're trying to chill.
Yeah.
You're trying to chill a bit. Can you chill? I bet you find it well.
It's taking training, and then people want to talk longer than I realise.
Yes, because we're so impatient, me and you.
Yeah.
Stop talking so long. I bet you're like, this podcast's too long now. No, I get you. Bless my missus. My missus is going to shout at me for this. She likes to slowly talk about stuff, and I'm like, you could have just told me the point, babes. Do you know what I mean? Because I am so impatient, but I need to learn. It's my wife. I love her with every being of my body. I just need to just chill out a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But I'm one of these. I'm so organised. I try cram so much into the day. I'm like, this is going to merge into my next task. I can't do that. And I think it's because I didn't have any control as a kid. So I've gone well overboard and I've gone complete polar opposite. Complete control. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And why is it that you're very hands-on then? Because a lot of people go, oh, that's not working smart. Because I get told off for this.
Yeah.
My business partner at the new gym were like, will you put that fucking vac down? Are you serious? We've got lads to do that. I'm like, they're not doing a proper job, doing it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were the same. You rocked up at the gym once someone had burnt it down with a vac and be like, I'll help out for a day. Do you know what I mean? Which is incredible, which just honestly, like, just shows who you are as a person.
I proper felt for you there, because I was just imagining if I'd worked so hard to build something and then some twat came and burnt it down.
Oh, honestly, man.
I'd have been livid, and I thought, what can I do that'll help him the most? And it wasn't about backing up, it was about you knowing that
someone cares. Yeah, absolutely, which is incredible. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for that, because the amount of support we had off the back of that was crazy, absolutely insane, which just, like I say, it shows who your true friends are, and people who are genuine, which is just amazing. Because how are we going to benefit each other? We're not, apart from being friends. Do you know what I mean? I don't need help from you, you don't need help from me, which is nice, because you instantly feel more comfortable with one another. Do you know what I mean? This is probably why we don't really have that many friends, because I do feel like quite a lot of people just kind of want something from you, or you can't trust them because they might have a hidden agenda. Do you know what I mean? Which is really bad that you have to kind of think like that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure, have you had any business dealings before in the past, maybe when you were car washing or whatever, where you might have been shafted, where money has come into the equation, perhaps?
Yeah, it's number one way to ruin a friendship.
Money.
Going into business with someone.
Unless there's set rules. I've done that with a new gym, because it was such a big build, and it was here we go, we'll just do this, so you do it all. Do you know what I mean? And as soon as, like, if I came here, for example, and started working with you, I'd be like, this is the pro, bow down, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to clean? I'm not going to step on your toes because I know you're the pro, but I like to ask questions. I don't pretend to know everything. That's it. I'm not really the most proud, you know what I mean, person. I don't like to wing it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You need to definitely be like a student forever. Like, you just, if I weren't like that, then I wouldn't have been able to go from the person who is good at starting a business but not the best at maintaining and being stable.
Yes.
I've had to learn those skills, because my natural skill set is the early.
Yes.
Early. Where I need to do everything, there's no one else to do it. You can't afford to pay anyone else to do it.
Yes.
You've got to do it all.
Yeah.
And then as a treat, every now and then, I'll go and paint a wall. Like,
really? Yeah.
Honestly.
So I did that in my garage recently. I built my missus a bit of a gym because she just had a baby and all the rest of it. And I thought, do you know what? Instead of getting a painter in, I know I'm not the best, but I'm going to paint it. This is why people keep IKEA furniture, because it's flat pack and you've built it yourself, you're less likely to throw it away because you've put time in, you've committed. If you've built a wall, you're going to be devastated knocking it down. You're like, do you know how long that wall took me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why that gym, I literally on my hands and knees, lifting weights, putting floor down, fixing stuff, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but so when you're building a business, like, it's a bit, you're sort of building like a concept. There's no like physical, I mean, you've got buildings and things like that, but you've not built, like practically built something. Like if you build a house, you've put brick by brick.
Yeah.
So sometimes I like to just give myself the treat of my caveman brain wants to physically make something rather than just the concept or you know, building
so
a
you're quite
business.
hands-on, aren't
you can't touch a business like in a real sense.
Makes sense.
I like to just build something for real sometimes.
I like that though, yeah. Like I say, it is a bad thing, but then in a way, it's almost like your hobby, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think you quite enjoy that. Talk to me about relationships, because I see your missus a lot. She's such a beautiful person inside and out. What's she think of your mentality? Because is she quite an extreme character? Is she like the support? Is she the driving factor? How do you switch off when you're around her and all the rest of it?
Yeah, so she...
What would she say? If I was interviewing her now, I'd say, describe him. What would she say?
She would say I'm crazy.
Okay, right, love it.
And she'd say that I am just an extreme person and I'm very black and white as well.
Okay, transparent. Love that.
Yeah. But black and white in terms of, like, I try to make things as simple as possible while keeping to the facts. So I don't like to make things murky. I like to make them black and white.
I get you.
Which some of life isn't black and white, but I'll make it black and white.
I like that. No, I do. I like that. So it makes it a lot more simple to read, because I don't like it when you don't get a good read for someone. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So how do you factor her into the equation with this huge business to run, and you wanting to spend a bit of time on yourself now? You know, what do you do? Do you kind of have a date night and switch your phone off, or what? Because this is something that'll probably help me.
Yeah. So we do a date night every week.
Okay. Set day.
A set day.
Right.
Because I like.
Yeah, routine. Yeah, we like clothes.
So Tuesday nights, if you wanted to know.
Lovely.
Like, it's date night.
Love it.
And then we also do check-ins now. So a check-in is any issues we've got with each other.
This is epic.
We have to talk about them, and there's rules. They're called fair fighting rules.
Is this a set time a week?
Yeah, every Monday.
Wow, so you store them up?
Yeah. Well, Holly writes them in a phone. Like if I've been a
pissed off
twat about something.
You were a dick on this day. Why?
Yeah.
Prick.
And I have to talk through it, and like if I've said something, because I'm quite blunt, she'll bring it up and say, "Why did you say that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, what I meant was," and then I have to give a bit more detail, which then.
Does she have to stop when you're talking?
Yeah, we both.
Yeah, this is brilliant. Yeah, I love this, because I will start like jumping in a hurry. She fucking hates it. I can see her. She's going like red, and I'm like, oh shit, I've jumped in.
Yeah. No, so we can't. You're not allowed to interrupt, and then there's certain rules, like you're never allowed to use the word never, for example, or always. So you can't say you always do this, because
you occasionally do this.
Yes, or sometimes you do this, because when you say never or always, it's combative, you know. So
this is epic.
There's some rules that we follow so that we can get to the root of the problem without killing each other.
Do you have it like at home in the kitchen, or like out for a coffee? Do you go out somewhere, do it? What do you do? Anyway.
Normally, because she works at Waves as well, we normally go and do it, and we have a coffee in the wine bar in Slaithwaite, and we'll do our check-in.
How long have you done this for? Because this is brilliant.
Not a crazy amount of time.
A few weeks?
Maybe, I think we've probably done it for about a month now.
Would you say do it?
I would, yeah.
Really?
I'd say do it.
Where's this come from? Because this is the thing, like, I'm doing audiobooks at the moment, I'm doing like Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, all this. I'm going to see a counsellor, I'm talking to, people I respect. Where the hell have you found that from?
So we went to couples therapy.
Brilliant.
Because we wanted to improve our communication.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the communication's a big thing, because
big time.
I would zip through something because I'm like, I want to get it done.
And she wants it.
Yeah, but what would happen is when you zip through something so quick, there's a lot of room to be misinterpreted.
Big time.
And so I realised very recently, because someone had the decency to tell me finally, that I get misinterpreted quite a lot as rude or whatever, but really, I've not meant it to be rude. But I've been impatient to get my point across, and I've done it in an indelicate way.
Straight away, I'm thinking me and you are literally identical. So I'm like, shit, how many people have I pissed off? Do you know
Probably
what I mean?
a lot.
Just by being,
If
just
you
by
like
being
me a
super
lot.
transparent. But then I think you're probably quite a caring person like me, so then I bet knowing that it upsets you.
Yeah, well, it does upset me when I didn't realise I was doing it for ages, and then someone finally said that, oh yeah, you just walk off in the middle of a conversation.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know I was doing that.
I do that all the time.
Someone told me, and I was like, oh, do I? And now what I'll do, I'll like stand, they'll be talking to me like this, and I'll be like, I've got the gist of this, I'm going to be going. And I go, oh, no.
How long have you given me, by the way? Because I feel like we've got an hour.
No, you've got as much as you want. Like, I've cleared the
I'm
schedule.
thinking, oh my God, he's going to be thinking this brilliant, right? Amazing.
No, I'm working on it. It's one of them things.
And how many like sessions with this like guru did you have to kind of work on your relationship? Was it just the one?
No, I think we had 4.
I feel like I need to do it.
I think we're probably gonna do a few more at some point.
Yeah.
But I would recommend it to anyone, even if you're not having any problems.
Yeah, just to make it even better.
Yeah.
Wow.
If there is a problem that occurs in the future, you've got the tools in your toolbox to deal with it.
Why do you call it a check-in? A check-in sounds like it's like a bodybuilding check-in. Is it a nice way? It's a check-in. It sounds like it's almost making it a chore, but it's not, is it? Because it's obviously working.
Yeah, no, you can call it whatever you like, but we just like to have it so it's like a structured conversation with rules that we can address any issues.
Why not boom there and then at the moment? So say you've said something, we're gay lovers, right? You've said something that annoyed me, like, oh, you don't like the hair. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You don't like my hair today. But like, that's not a very fucking nice thing to say, you dickwad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not there and then? Because harbouring stuff, surely does that not?
So some stuff you might do that.
There and then, right, okay.
But other times you might, if I said that to you, you might be really pissed off and you're like, I'm gonna make this worse now. Because he's triggered me, and I'm gonna like have a go at him, and then a little tiny issue,
boom, massive. Yeah, right, wow.
So that's the idea behind it. But some stuff, obviously, you have to maintain boundaries and stuff like that.
Yes.
So if someone was to do something real bad at the time, you go, oh, excuse me.
Yeah. So has it worked then? So do you feel like you and your missus are stronger than ever?
Yeah.
Wow, incredible. I'm going.
It's actually unbelievable. Like when you commit a certain amount of time to sit down and do it, like I can't run off and go and do something else. Like this is in the schedule. It's happening. Like so we do it.
Brilliant. So apart from that, then you and your chill and your happiness, what else have you tried to do to kind of sort it out? Have you done any like meditation? Have you done any audiobooks? What are you doing to kind of try sort your raj dead out like me?
I've tried meditation and I can't do it.
No.
I do listen to audiobooks.
Okay.
But
like
again,
when you're driving maybe
exactly.
or what? Okay.
I listen to an audiobook while I'm
doing something else. I'm the same. I drive over to one business and I've got like a 35-minute drive and I'll use it as my time to do a bit of an audiobook. And what's your favourite so far? What are the top one that you're just like, wow, that helped a bit?
I think probably I listened to a really good like psychology book. It was for university.
Okay.
I got the Audible.
Right.
It gives you a token and you can buy any book you want. And I got this one off the curriculum.
Yeah.
And I listened to this psychology book and it goes through all the different kind of psychological disorders there are. That was my absolute favourite.
Really?
I bloody loved it.
Wow, so like an educational book.
I only listen to non-fiction.
Oh yeah, I get you. It's got to be right. Okay, yeah. So mine blew me away and my missus says, no way. A friend of mine, Tom Summers, basically said to me, you need to listen to that 50 Cent book, like Work Hard, Hustle Hard or something like that.
I listened to that as well.
Wow. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy is next level. It helped me so much with like mood board planning and, being on the same page with your missus.
Yeah.
What a guy, man. Incredible. So you are counselling, audiobooks. So basically you've done exactly what I've been doing. And you've only been doing that maybe for the last month of your relationship. And then what about your audiobooks and trying to self-help? Have you been doing it for a long or not?
Always.
Really?
Yeah. I've been listening to audiobooks since they became a thing.
Shit, so I'm feeling like, right, talking to people is already making me a lot happier. Like, honestly, when I did my intro, we're actually going to launch tonight, I was like, I'm miserable as fuck. I'm already getting better. I'm still not happy because I can't switch off. That's the one thing. I cannot switch off. I'm trying to spend time with my missus and my beautiful family, and I'm there like thinking of work. And I'm like, babes, I've got problems. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I cannot switch off. I'm thinking about what's going on here, and I'm checking my CCTV, and then I'm like, one day I've got to be able to switch off. I want to be able to go on holiday and actually not feel anxious about work or not think, shit, that'd be a good business. Why don't I just buy loads of mopeds and move to Portugal? Stop it.
Yeah.
What?
Mate, so I just got back from going to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I completely fucked that holiday up.
Really?
Like we spent a lot on that holiday, and I was a wreck on it.
Really?
Because I don't do
holidays. No.
holidays.
Yeah, I do like 3 or 4 days, and Harriet goes, it's not enough.
Well, we did 2 weeks the year before.
Wow.
And I fucked that up too.
Really?
So Holly was like, "Oh, we'll do 8 days instead." I still fucked it up because I could not
switch off.
relax.
Yeah.
And so I was pissed off. I was arguing.
Yeah.
It's just
because you wanted to be here, or because you were just overthinking
I wanted
things?
to be here, and I was worried about what was happening when I wasn't here.
Absolutely.
And then I felt like I constantly feel like I'm wasting time because I'm always aware that I'm going to die at some point. So I felt like I'm wasting time here. This isn't real life. My real life is back in England.
Yeah.
I'm here fucking driving quads and swimming in a
cars
pool.
and shit. Yeah, I get you. So that doesn't do it for you then?
Not
Even
really.
like, let's say you're a pleaser, because like I say, the more we talk, I feel like we're just so similar. What about keeping your missus happy? Because I try my best to work hard to buy my missus the fancy cars, the watches, the handbags and stuff, and I do get a lot of satisfaction doing that. What about, right, I've got this incredible woman who supports me and deals with my fucked up ways. Just give her a nice time. Did that not even kind of chill you out a bit? Just go, think of her, never mind about you, fuck you, don't matter. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I did try, and obviously I'd manage it for like a day here and a day there, but on the whole, you would definitely, if you had to mark my performance on that holiday,
2.
you'd have given me if you've been generous.
Really? It's worse than me. Oh God.
I was a nightmare.
I wonder what, do you know what, like I say, I'm getting better because I'm talking about it, and I think I'm just realising that everyone's kind of similar. Us extreme people, these workaholics, we're just not happy unless we're working, which is just bad, but then are we really happy working? I don't know. You know what I mean? Crazy. Like, do you care what people think of you? This is one thing on my mind. Do you want to be seen as successful? Or do you care, do you know, for example, if you've met cameraman, the master over here, and he walked away, and you were like, oh, he's a bit up his arse or whatever. Would it hurt you, or are you only bothered about? I know you're not up your arse. I'm just saying, you know, what do you feel like when you've heard something bad about you? Does it upset you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you are a pansy like
so,
me.
Yeah. I like people, and there's a couple of different things that I think about when it comes to that. So it's not just like because I just want people to like me. I want people to basically want to do business with me in the future if the opportunity arises.
So you're going straight business mode now, not?
Yeah, like that. It's just how. So
love it.
It was. I heard it a long time ago now, and basically, it was saying that when you're doing business and when you're interacting with people, you're playing a game, and if you stick to the rules, even if you lose, you've stuck to the rules, and you'll get invited to play again in the future. So I try to, stick to the rules that society dictates, so that I get invited to more games in the future, because I might be able to cheat in one, but then they'll never invite me to play again.
Okay.
So by being invited to more games, I have the opportunity to win more often.
Is that you as a person though, or are you kind of like going, let's say me and you went for a coffee, is it not like straight away you're thinking, right, this is work, this guy might want to do business with, do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's a bit like, it does.
Is that you as a person?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, right. Well, as long as I know that's the real you,
yeah.
do you know if me and you have a catch up?
Yeah, so it's not, so I would enjoy the conversation, but I would always be aware that I don't want to close any doors.
Right, interesting. I like it how you're trying to talk about stuff that you actually deep down enjoy. You know, let's say if we sold everything tomorrow and we just retired and you've got your millions or whatever, right? And you're just with your dog. Do you enjoy that time?
Yeah, I love going out with the dog.
So you definitely actually enjoy training the German Shepherd. Lovely. Yeah. I obviously grew up with German Shepherds, like 4 in the house. Love it. We used to breed them. So what a dog. We've got a little dog at the moment, like a little border terrier, bless it. And I just think that ain't a dog. That's a cat. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I love your dogs. But well, at least we do know what makes you happy. That is good. Do you know what I mean? At least if we got rid of it all tomorrow and you'd had enough to set you for life, you could actually spend time with your dog. You know what I mean? And set up loads of businesses for people by the sounds of it.
It's not as extreme as you think. So there's rules to friendship as well. So I would want to be invited to be other people's friends as well. You see what I mean? So it's not just rules in terms of making money. But there's like social rules that I would like to be invited to people's parties, and I'd like to be invited here. And so if I go to your party and I fucking chuck all your food everywhere,
I'd still invite because I'm like, that guy's brilliant, but I'm a bit extreme, do you know what I mean? Me and you are similar. I'm like, he provided the entertainment, he's coming again, epic.
So that's, it's not that if me and you met up and I want something from you, it's that if I behave badly, you won't want to ever meet up again. So
Remember, I'm the rebel, I'm the naughty boy. I'm like,
yeah.
this guy started launching coffee because it was shit. It's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Because
invite him again.
yeah, that's probably what me and you need, because we need something a bit out of the norm. Having said that, we actually need a bit of normal, don't we? Because you're saying you just want some normal conversations and not work all the time.
Yeah.
We are very, very similar, me and you. We basically need to force ourselves to be a bit normal and switch off a bit, be more patient.
Yeah.
Maybe let's put less things in our calendar. That's the thing. Because if you've got loads in it, you're like, babes, tell me now, please, because I need to go to the next meeting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Very helpful. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that we can have another chat at some point, and hopefully you found something that's worked. And maybe this conversation has worked a little bit, knowing that, you know, we're giving people something to think about, because I think so many people are going, I want to work for myself, I want this, but they don't understand what it entails.
Yeah.
It will screw your head up having all these responsibilities and all this pressure on your shoulders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've swapped huge amounts of my life, my time, for where I am now. And then I'm at the point now where I'm swapping huge amounts of stress for money. So I've got nearly 100 staff now. So at that point, how much stress I can withstand is going to decide how much more money I make in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
before your heart going bad.
I'm always aware of what I break it down black and white, and I'm always aware what business I'm in. So I was in the swapping my time for money business. I didn't like that anymore. So I'm now swapping my stress for money.
Yeah.
So how much stress can I take before I implode?
And this is what people need to know before they start jumping into the big businesses, because they think, oh yeah, well I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that X amount of hours a week. How many hours do you reckon you work a week?
Oh,
Let's say, what's a typical day for you? You wake up at what time? Because I know you'll have structure.
so I wake up at about 5.
Okay, so 5 a.m. and then what time do you reckon you stop work, if you stop work? 10?
No, so this is not particularly new. It's maybe a year or so.
Okay.
I like to stop at 8.
All right, okay.
8
So
o'clock.
5 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays off, or Saturdays and Sundays work?
No, I work weekends most of the time as well. But I've got my kids now, so they force me to take some time with them. So
All right, okay. So hopefully we're going to get better and better at doing this.
We'll see.
Incredible. Honestly, thank you so much for your time, mate.
No worries.
Pleasure.